I wonder, do you believe that he's a burden bearer? I wonder, do you believe he's a lily of the valley? But above all, I used to hear her sing this song, and I never will forget it. I used to hear her say, oh.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I want to tell you why I want to be a pastor for the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Nathan is one of those guys that leave an impression on you. He's a guy that you just learn to love.
I've probably got a fairly small, inner circle of people that I give my time to. Nathan is one of those people.
Nathan's best known for his friendship. He's very friendly to the old of the church as well as to the young.
To me, Nathan is best known for his outgoing, friendly attitude of where he can just build rapport with people and speak to anyone and everyone.
Well, me and Nathan love different cultures. We love people with different beliefs.
I might say something from my religious perspective, but he won't sit down and say that, no, you're wrong. This is what I believe. He would ask a question of, so that's what you believe, can you tell me more about it? I'm really interested.
Nathan's able to disassociate himself from the views and appreciate people for people.
You can put him in the middle of a Muslim country and he will be really good at finding that common ground between the two religions. He will try his utmost best to intertwine their culture with his culture and bring the beauty of people out of them.
I went to the Dominican Republic for about 8 months, and it was while I was over there that I started sharing the gospel with some Jehovah's Witnesses, and just the absolute joy. It was a thrill, that fire that it just lit in me. It made me realize that, this is what I want to do.
I think ambitious goes in line with what Nathan's all about. When you speak about ambition, he does. He has a big, grand view of himself. Not delusions of grandeur, but he holds himself accountable to a high standard. While at times it may leave him open to disappointment, he is always aiming big. And while he might come down hard on himself for not reaching the pinnacle, he's often not far away from it.
I believe Nathan has the gift of actually preaching. And when he preaches with so much conviction that I know that he doesn't preach anything that he doesn't believe.
It really is food for the soul. You feel like you've been thirsty for water and you've received water.
His sermons are so touching. People have given me feedback about his preaching and about his teaching in our church, and they are very, very happy with what Nathan is doing here in Blacktown Church.
I love learning about God. I love to preach. I love giving Bible studies. I love getting deeply into the Bible, sitting down with someone and communicating God with them.
What he's opened my mind up to is not being afraid to put the message out there very loudly, because he does that very, very well.
I've never personally attended church outside of it being a necessity until Nathan came along.
We have conversations of religion and sometimes I'll get questions that I don't quite understand, and then I'll ask him and he'll give me a really good explanation on how to understand it properly.
He introduced me to the world of the Seventh-day Adventists, and he came at it from a very worldly view that allowed an outsider who may be somewhat a little bit more skeptical and maybe somewhat more of a non-believer to understand and appreciate what it's truly about.
I would definitely bring a non-Adventist to hear Nathan preach, because I know he has a heart for bringing people to Jesus and that they will receive the gift of salvation.
Whenever Nathan is preaching, I would like to bring a non-Adventist, because I'm sure that this person will have his life changed.
Sometimes as pastors, you can really be up here and you don't know how to come to a level where people are struggling, people are going through hardships. He'll tell about his story and he'll tell you how he came through things, and I would definitely bring a non-Adventist to hear him preach.
I didn't always know Jesus. I didn't always love Jesus. I grew up around a lot of drug and alcohol abuse from my mum. I had a very broken past, a very broken family environment. My mum eventually passed away in a drink driving accident when I was 16. I started to experience a lot of anxiety, started to experience a lot of depression, and I started to verge onto alcoholism myself. I went through about a year of where my life started to spiral out of control. And long story short, it left me homeless for about 3 months. You know, when God found me, He did a work in my life. He picked me up, and He's given me something now that I never thought that I would have. Yeah, God has saved me, and I'm forever grateful for the man that I am today. I want to look at my past and be inspired by what I can do, knowing where I came from. I want to exceed any type of potential that people would have thought of me or think of me, even myself. I want to exceed my own expectations. I know that in order to be an inspiration for others, I need to first be an inspiration for myself.
I love the bloke. I genuinely love the bloke. He's one of the best guys that I've ever met. I look at him as my best friend, as my own brother as well.
I think he's an extremely loyal person.
He's the type of person that doesn't give up on a specific person.
And even if they start going down the wrong path, he won't just let them go. He'll stick with them.
There's something that's deep rooted inside of him as an individual and person, where you see that fire burn. He'll always find a way to empower himself and better himself and others around him because of that fire that burns inside him with it.
I look at myself as someone that's still growing, that's still learning, someone that still stuffs up all the time. And you know, for me, the Christian message, the gospel, it's life and death, not only in word, but it's something that I feel, and it's something that I hold in my heart. And sharing Jesus, but sharing life in Jesus, it's everything to me.
I would recommend Nathan to be a pastor of a church because of his conviction with regards to our message as an Adventist, and also his relationship to God, because in knowing Nathan personally, I know he's a God-fearing, God-loving man that has a real connection with the Lord.